What is going on YouTube? This is Will, and in this video I'm going to go over my favorite travel service that I use in order to find cheap flight deals on the internet. But first, if you're new to the channel, I go over travel and travel reward credit cards to help you guys travel more for less, so consider hitting that little red subscribe button for more videos. So my favorite service that I've been using for a year and a half, close to 2 years now, is called Scotch Cheap Flights. So what this is, it's just a service that you subscribe to, and every day you're going to get these flight deals in your email. So these guys are pretty much sitting around in a room, just manually looking for these different flight deals around the world and sending it out to all of their subscribers. So again, I've been using this for a year and a half, maybe a little bit more than a year and a half. And I started with the free version, and the free version is pretty good. You get 1 to 3 different emails per day with different flight deals, which is pretty good for a free service. But in those free emails, they're going to start teasing you with different other flight deals that you missed because you didn't get that premium service. So the premium service is $40. Now, let me say this right now. Scotch Cheap Flights is not paying me for this video. We're not affiliated in any way. So I do have the paid version, $40, and I get significantly more emails per day. I mean, I've been tracking how many emails I've gotten since last May of 2019. So it's been about 6 months since I started tracking it, and I've gotten over 650 emails in my inbox. So I definitely keep all these things. I almost want to set up a different email address just because I get so many emails every day. Now, when you sign up for the service, you can log into the website and you can set your departure airport. And I believe they just send you emails based on your departure airport, I think. Now, for me, I am based out of Atlanta, but I do have some other airports that I've added as well, like Nashville and Charlotte, because those are places I can drive to. So if I do see a good flight deal, I'm willing to drive 4 hours in order to get a nice cheap flight. Or I do have LAX on my list as well, because LAX has a lot of different flight deals. So Atlanta, as they classify it on Scotch Cheap Flights, gets a frequent amount of flight deals, but places like LAX, New York City, Chicago, they get most frequent, I believe is what they classify it as. So for some reason, Atlanta, biggest airport or most busiest airport in the world, doesn't get as many flight deals as other cities like LA or New York. So when you get one of these deals in your email, they're gonna list all of the different airports that you can fly into and which airports that you can fly out of in order to get the best deal. They'll even list some of the estimated prices for you. So they'll also tell you at what time of the year that you can actually fly out in order to get these deals, the typical price, which airlines that you can fly in. All that is in the email itself. They'll even kind of give you a little example on how to use Google search or Google Flights in order to actually search for that deal using that service. Now, I will say this, sometimes they don't always list all of the airports in here that you can fly out from in order to get that deal. So for one of my trips that I did take, my airport wasn't actually on here, but I did see some of the neighboring airports in my area that also had the flight deal. So I just took a chance and I went ahead and searched for my airport as well, and I was able to find a flight deal. All right, so I'm gonna go over some of the deals that I got in 2019 when using their service. And the first one is gonna be my flight to Hawaii that I took in August of 2019. So I got this email from Scott sometime in like February 2019. So like 5 or 6 months ahead of when I actually took the trip. Unfortunately, I don't have the original email. I wasn't keeping track of them at that time, but I believe the flight deal was roughly around $450 to $475, which is a crazy good deal. Now, you have to know this thing about Scotch Cheap Flights and their deals is that usually it's for the most basic economy seat. So when you see these prices, just realize they're not going to be for the seats where you can choose where you want to sit at ahead of time. You got to pay extra for that. So for me, I ended up paying like $550 per ticket for both my wife and I to fly to Hawaii. But that's still really good, because normally for that time of year that we were trying to fly out there, it usually goes for like $750 to $1,000 per ticket. So I did share this with some of my family and friends that were flying out there for our wedding with us. And yeah, a lot of them took advantage of it. Some of them didn't, and they definitely regretted it, because I was tracking the prices from the time I bought my tickets in February up to the time I actually, the time of the trip, and those prices never got into that 500 range ever again. I think the lowest it got to was maybe $650. I think most of my friends who were paying late ended up paying that $800 to $1,000 per ticket. So it sucks for them, but for me, I definitely got a tremendous amount of value just for this one deal, and I already paid for that $40 premium service for Scotch Cheap Flights. So that's why I said, again, it really is definitely worth paying for it, because once you get that one flight deal, you're going to be paying for that, premium service for years and years and years. So it's definitely worth getting that $40 service for sure. Now for that Hawaii trip, I did pay straight up cash, but for this next trip that I booked using Scotch Cheap Flights, I did use my Chase Ultimate Reward points. So this flight is from Atlanta to Tokyo. So normally that ticket would have cost me roughly $1,300 to $1,600 for the time of year that we're flying. But Scotch Cheap Flights came through. So they sent us a deal for $584 per ticket. $1,100 savings essentially, about $1,000 savings essentially for these tickets that we got. Now, like I said, I did use my Chase Ultimate Reward points. So it costs for both my wife and I 77,812 points to fly to Japan. That's it. That is incredibly cheap for points to fly to Japan. Now, if you were to transfer your points out to a transfer partner, I did, do some comparisons there as well. So for Chase, their lowest transfer partner to fly to Japan was United Airlines, I believe. And that's 70,000 miles for just one ticket. Plus you had to pay $61. Now for Amex, their best airline or transfer partner is going to be ANA in order to fly to Japan. It's a pretty good deal. It's 55,000 miles, which is pretty low. Again, not as low as what we're getting here with the Chase Ultimate Reward points, but it would also cost us 29,840 Japanese yen, which is I think it's about $271 that I'll have to pay in taxes and fees for that ANA flight. So yeah, 77,000, no additional taxes, no additional fees or anything like that. That's all I had to pay. So this is the number one reason why I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card and why I'm not going to get rid of it, because of the way that I use it when I'm trying to find these cheap flight deals. Now, if you had to say the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, it would have cost you 93,360 points in order to book this flight. So that's a difference of roughly 15,548 points. So you can see right there that you're already making up for that difference between the Chase Sapphire Preferred cards annual fee and the Chase Sapphire Reserve cards annual fee, just based on the points that you're saving booking things on the Chase travel portal. So I always say, if you're going to be in a Chase card setup, you got to have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. It just doesn't quite make sense to have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card if you're going to be using the travel portal a lot, which I think you definitely should be because of all of the deals that you're going to be getting. But again, of course, this is all for economy seats. So if you're someone that's going to be flying, business class or first class, of course, transferring your points out is going to make more sense. You'll get more value there. Not going to even argue against that. Now, Chase isn't the only card that does the 1.5 cents per point on the travel portal. You have some Wells Fargo cards that do it. You have the US Bank card that does it as well. Even the Amex Business Platinum card will give you 35% back when you book flights on their travel portal. So there are other cards that can do it as well, but I just love me some Chase, and I'm just going to stick with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you think guys think about Scotch Cheap Flights. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, does this maybe change your mind and thinking on whether or not you want to get rid of it or not? Let me know down in the comments below. But thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to smash that like button. It really helps the channel out, and I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos, and I will catch you guys next time.